Bertha making its way into southeast Texas. Winds, rain. I'll let you know all the impacts we can expect here in Houston. To the west, we'll start to see some breezy conditions here in Houston. Storm Tracker 2 radar showing not a whole lot of rainfall associated with this system, at least not over land. We are tracking some pretty big thunder coastal areas around Matagorda Bay with some heavy downpours, but the rest of us really not going to see a tremendous amount from Bertha. You can see the actual path as we get into this evening. That means from now through tonight, we are going to start to see winds really ramp up into Brazoria County. Gusts can get up to 45 miles per hour, but here in Houston, our winds likely only up to about 30 miles per hour, something we certainly can handle. And I'll tell you what, it's also going to be keeping us a bit cooler than we have been. That heat, though, coming right back as we look towards the weekend. Brittany, I've got our full forecast coming up. Roll through last night. In fact, I want to community, and you might be featured on air and online. Let's talk about Bertha right now, because you can see the center of the circulation pushing its way on land and right now approaching that Texas-Louisiana border there. This system incredibly asymmetrical. The center of the circulation right here, not showing a whole lot of rainfall, but we are tracking some heavy downpours that are currently approaching Matagorda Bay. Areas from Matagorda over towards Jackson County. You're going to see some heavy storms here within the next few hours, but the rest of us, we're really only going to see rain chances into this afternoon. The bigger change today, it's not as miserable outside, quite frankly. Yesterday, sunshine, stagnant air. We hit 102 here in Houston. Today, cloudy, mid-80s, still humid, but winds are coming in from the north, and it does feel significantly better today compared to yesterday. We're going to be about 15 degrees cooler. Tropical storm Bertha still going to be passing directly over Houston as we head this afternoon and evening, which means it's going to start getting breezy. Our coastal areas can see winds gusting up to 45 miles per hour this afternoon. We'll continue to see those winds staying pretty strong as we head into the evening. Take a look. Wind gusts right now about 20 miles per hour. Future track is going to show rain bands possible as we head into the afternoon. Now, we are not expecting widespread rain. Far coastal areas, anywhere south of I-10, you're going to have the highest risk of rainfall. The rest of us, mostly dry, about 30-mile-per-hour wind gusts here in Houston. Certainly something we can handle. And I'll tell you what, once Bertha moves out, by tomorrow morning, Bertha's totally out of here. The heat once again becomes Houston, but you can see that rotation going to bring with it some pretty breezy conditions as we head into the afternoon. I'll tell you what, it is a lopsided storm. Most of the rainfall associated with this staying well to the south of the center. A closer look is going to show you some of those down over towards Palacios, also tracking a thunderstorm pushing on shore the southern. Otherwise, here in the Houston area, a few sprinkles here or there, but most of us not seeing a whole lot in terms of rainfall from Bertha. The main thing you're going to see as it passes through, we'll start to track winds as they really start to pick up. In fact, right now we've been monitoring winds along the coast. It's bringing sandy, much more pleasant compared to yesterday. Yesterday we had stagnant air, temperatures reaching 102. It kind of felt like an oven here in Houston. It was by far the hottest day we'd had so far this year. Heat index values felt like 115. So today, with the cloud cover and temperatures in the 80s, it actually feels kind of nice out there. Kind of strange. Winds coming in from the north at 10 miles per hour. Now, I'm not saying it's not humid, still feeling close to the triple digits, but compared to yesterday, we feel 15 to 20 degrees cooler compared to this time yesterday. Actual air temperature right now sitting 98. Compare that to Liberty's 84 degrees. And winds are also coming in from the northeast. This is because of Bertha moving its way in. Those are winds rotating around the tropical storm. As for what we're tracking on our visible satellite, you can see Bertha making its way, the center of the circulation now here in southeast Texas, but rainfall accumulation, we haven't seen a whole lot of rainfall yet today. A closer look is going to show you some of those showers and storms out near Matagorda Bay. You can see Palacios over towards Bay City. Some brief downpours here from Angleton to Lake Jackson. Seeing a little thunderstorm start to pop up along 288 from Oyster Creek over towards Lake Jackson. Thankfully, that storm is continuing to push through, so rainfall accumulations should be manageable, but certainly keeping a close eye on any of these downpours. As we head through the rest of the afternoon, certainly is going to be possible to see a quick tropical downpour here in Houston, but most of the activity is going to be for far coastal areas, locations south of I-10. That's where we're going to see most of the rainfall. Tropical Storm Bertha still officially a tropical storm expected to pass through Houston, and that's going to be increasing our winds into the afternoon. You'll notice tropical storm alerts from Chambers through Brazoria counties. Winds can get up to 45 miles per hour by the coast. Further inland, 25 to 30. But I'll tell you what, it's really now until the evening. By tomorrow morning, the rain's out of here, the wind's out of here, and the heat is coming right away across southeast Texas, bringing with it some cloud cover. I'll tell you what, it's moving out though, and the heat is coming back. Full forecast coming up clock, which means we've just received another update from the National Hurricane Center. Visible moving through southeast Texas, and yes, it is still considered a tropical storm. The 4 o'clock update now having winds down to 40 miles per hour. Previously, it was at 45. The winds are going down. The pressure is rising. That's because this is a system being torn apart because of this land interaction. Not only are we seeing it decrease in strength, but we're also seeing it speed up. We've been reading your viewer comments, and one of the biggest concerns that people have is what happens if it stalls? What happens if it strengthens? That is not happening here at all. It's speeding up as it pushes out of here. By early tomorrow morning, it's dissipated, and it's already going to be out in the hill country, likely producing little to no impacts at all. Right now, we are continuing to track some rain showers and thunderstorms, especially for our far coastal areas. You can see from Port Lavaca to Palacios, seeing a few showers, but look at that thunderstorm that's just pushed across Lake Jackson. That's going to be entering far northeast portions of Matagorda County here within the next 25 minutes. Otherwise, by Hobby Airport, biggest concern is going to be the road conditions. In fact, let's bring it out to one of our storm trackers. Hey, anything compared to yesterday's 115 feels like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is going to feel like a relief, even if it's a tropical storm on a Thursday. In fact, I went to pictures yesterday. At this time, it was 101 degrees. It felt like 117. Right now, it's 89. Still humid, still feeling like 102, but let me tell you, it's feeling better than it was. Winds are pretty breezy coming in from the northeast, but across the board, conditions are much more comfortable. You can see where we've seen the cloud cover and rain lower to mid 80s. Elsewhere to the north and east, we've got some spots. Lufkin 90, 92 in Crockett, and to the northwest 98 in Austin. So conditions are cooler than yesterday. Winds certainly picking up. Without that stagnant air, it feels better. Winds coming in from the northeast here in Houston at about 10 miles per hour. And we're continuing to track Bertha as it makes its way to the west. Because it's over land, it is falling apart. It is really losing its strength, and we're going to continue to see it lose strength as it works its way out of here. By tomorrow morning, Bertha is a total thing of the past. As for our Storm Tracker 2 radar, we have been monitoring for showers pushing into the Houston area. Most of that activity has been across Matagorda Bay. You can see some showers near Palacios. Look at this thunderstorm approaching Matagorda County, Sweeney and Lake Jackson, seeing that thunderstorm quickly working its way to the west. And thankfully, these storms are continuing to move. Because of that, we're not seeing anything too aggressive out there, but we do have a thunderstorm actually impacting areas just on the south side of town, Pearland to Siena. In fact, this is going to keep advancing its way to the northwest. It's going to be thundering pretty soon here at the station. Future Track is going to show those rain chances possible, mainly for our coastal areas from now through this evening. A few sprinkles as we head into Friday, but after that, we are in the clear. In fact, you're going to notice as we head next week, every day, 100 degrees possible in the afternoon. I know a lot of folks hear weak tropical storm and they think I'm going to surf in Galveston. And I am here to tell you, if you're going to do that, I hope you're a strong swimmer. Have someone with you. Always have a buddy and be extra careful because we've got an elevated rip current risk today. That's at least going to linger into tomorrow, potentially into the weekend as well. Okay, let's get to those thunderstorms because we are really towards Meadows Place and Sugar Land. Sienna just had a heavy downpour there, frequent lightning strikes associated with this storm as it keeps pushing its way towards the west. Now, one benefit of this storm is rain can come down, but that red color Southwest Freeway is seeing heavy downpours, also still tracking some storms pushing through Bay City. These storms possible over the next couple of hours, but once this moves out, the heat comes right back. Lisa, Joel, I've got much more in our full forecast coming up.
All right, Caroline,
that shot does look very scary. And
going 200 over a bridge.
No, they're not. I like to think they're going 15 under over a bridge. Okay. Accidents, which means if you're hearing this and you're about to leave work, please plan on extra time for driving. You don't want to be put in a situation where you're driving through really intense conditions or you encounter a flooded roadway. You can see right now heavy downpours filling in areas south of town. You'll notice it from the Beltway 8, really from Brookside Village over towards Missouri City, Sugar Land, Sienna, seeing an intense tropical downpour here with frequent lightning strikes this storm. One benefit, it's continuing to move. You can see it's pushing its way off to the west, which means if you're in Sugar Land, it's not going to keep pouring for too long, but it certainly is going to be intense probably for the next 30 minutes or so. An incredibly electric storm pushing its way through. That is associated with Tropical Storm Bertha, which is why we can quickly see several inches of rain if that doesn't keep moving out of here. We've also got some of those showers in Wharton County down into Bay City, producing some heavy lightning here too. And we're going to keep monitoring through the rest of the afternoon for more downpours and thunderstorms associated with Bertha. This is a live look here from the south, our station here in the Southwest Houston. We're located in Sharpstown. You can see traffic moving slow. That's the Southwest Freeway outbound heading towards Sugar Land. It is really starting to pour here. Temperatures cooler because of it, but now it's just pouring down rain. Temperatures across the board, lower 80s anywhere where we haven't seen big impacts to the northwest, mid 90s, 98 in Austin. But look at these winds. You'll notice it's actually interesting. Winds are going to be stronger north of I-10 right now. Crockett to Huntsville, gusts up to 25. Not quite as windy down by the coast. And visible satellite continuing to show Bertha working its way to the west. As it does, it's decreasing in strength. It is just holding on to that classification of a tropical storm. In order to be this, it needs a center of a circulation and winds at 39. They're saying winds at 40. So technically still a tropical storm, but by tomorrow morning, it's moved out of here. Really only a 20% chance of a brief downpour tomorrow.